بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم في حلقة جديدة من حلقات شرح الأسئلة الاسترشادية لطلبة وطالبات الشهادة الثانوية القسم الأدبي بمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. معكم أنا انتصار الشريف، أقوم بشرح الحلول وإعطاء بعض المعاني لبعض الكلمات. From now on, I'll be speaking in English. Okay, so today I'll cover the grammar questions from Unit 5. After that, I will be explaining, in the next episodes, I will be explaining the rules, grammar rules for the passive voice, the reported speech, and some of the future tenses, بإذن الله تعالى. So today, they're only questions and I show you the answers. Oopsie. I'm still not used to this, guys, so yeah. Okay. Cool. Before I explain the question, I need to say something about these, as I used to in each episode. So when you see this number, it means it's Unit 5, and this number is the number of the question in your list of questions. So the question says, complete. Okay, so you have blanks, and you insert some words. Complete the sentence using two of these, because you have two blanks, you need to use two words from these four words. You have how, why, play, use. Okay, let's see how you can choose the right word. You need to read the sentence first. Okay, I've forgotten blank to blank the computer. Okay, so here you forgot to do something. Okay, something here is related to computer. When you look at the words, what goes here? You forgot why? It's not why. How? Yes, how. And then, so we chose the right word for this part. Let's look at this part. You have play and use. If you will use play here, you need another preposition. Since you don't have a preposition, it's this. You see how it works? So let's see the answer. Okay, I've forgotten how to use the computer. So the words you need here, how and use. Okay, let's move on. Put these words in order. So what does put these words in order means? Put them in order. كلمة الأولى first, second word second, and so on. So you put them in order to make, why? To make a sentence, a statement. Okay, statement means sentence. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. You need to make a sentence using these 7 words. Okay, now let's see which word comes first in your opinion. How about your? And then, since we have your, we use the word parents. So your parents here is the subject of the sentence. So we're done with the subject part. What is the verb of the sentence? Are. Why? Because parents here is plural. So your parents are. Okay. Now what comes after that? Welcome. And then we need the preposition to, and then stay here. Okay, so let's see the answer. Your parents are welcome to stay here. Your parents are welcome to stay here. Next question. What is enjoy followed by? Okay, so what type of verb follows enjoy? It's followed by the verb with ing form, gerund. Okay, so verb with ing, and I have example for you guys here so you remember this. Okay, so this is the rule. It's followed by enjoy is usually followed by verb with ing. An example, I enjoy playing football with my friends. I enjoy playing football with my friends. To drive too fast is dangerous. Correct the sentence. So they need you to rewrite the sentence. So how can you make changes to make it correct as they want you here? Look at to drive. It becomes, yes, driving too fast is dangerous. Driving too fast is dangerous. So, to drive changes into driving. What is the noun form of develop? You need to memorize this. So, what's the form here? What's the noun form? Yes, development. Develop is the verb, the noun form is development. You need to memorize it. شو معنى memorize؟ تحفظها. الحفظ هنا شنو؟ Spelling. Okay, so you need to memorize the spelling of the word. So if the question comes in the final exam, you will know how to write it correctly, because if it's misspelled, you will lose grades, or it might be, considered as wrong. Okay? لو مش مكتوبة صح هتمشي لك خطأ. So spelling is really important in this type of questions. So develop, the noun form of it is development. Learning should start what we already know. Correct the sentence. So start, changes, okay? Learning should grow from what we already know. I should have put this in green and red as well, but it's okay. So, learning should grow from what we already know. We changed start to grow from. We've arranged meeting on Tuesday. Is it correct? لاحظوا في هالأسئلة تسأل is it correct? Correct this. So take this into your minds. Always remember how to correct sentences. Okay? So this is another question that asks you to correct a wrong sentence. Now let's have a look. We've arranged meeting on Tuesday. Do you think meeting here is correct? Let's see. No, it isn't. Okay, so the sentence is not correct. How it should be corrected? Let's see the second part of the answer. We've arranged to meet on Tuesday. It's not meeting, it's to meet. Okay? We should learn without understanding. Oh, why there is a question there. Okay, we should learn without understanding. So there should be a full stop here. Okay? Correct the sentence. What do you think? The mistake here, so we need to correct it. We should learn without understanding. Without understanding, does it make sense to you guys? Do you usually learn without understanding? It doesn't make sense, of course. So what's the answer? We should learn step by step. Step by step. Step by step. خطوة خطوة، مش خطوة طبعا متاع المشي. خطوة خطوة يعني you learn something first, then you go on to the next part when you understand the first one, and so on. So step by step. It's not without understanding, it's step by step. Do you remember to go to the cinema for the first time? Do you remember to go to the cinema for the first time? It doesn't make sense. Why? To go should be going. Do you remember going to the cinema for the first time? Okay, so here, when I said, do you remember to go to the cinema for the first time? The sentence, or let's say the question, because it's a question, the question doesn't make sense. You feel it's not right, something is wrong here, okay? So, as they didn't ask you to do anything, they just put the question as it is. You need to understand that you need to correct the part or to spot the wrong part and correct it without them telling you you should do this. Clear? يعني هنا ما فيش حد قال لك correct the wrong part of the question, correct the mistake or correct it. They didn't ask you to do this. You need to understand, let's say, does it make sense? Okay, so you understand whether it's right or wrong, and then you spot the wrong part and correct it. And this is the difficult part here, because you don't know what to do with the question, okay? Remember, تقرأ الجملة أو السؤال. Ask yourself, does it make sense? And then try to spot the wrong part and correct it. So, do you remember to go to the cinema for the first time? It's not right. We need to use going to the cinema for the first time. And there should be a question mark here. Before, and you have three choices: eat, eating, to eat. I wash my hands carefully. Which verb is correct? Now let's read it using each word separately. Before eat, I wash my hands carefully. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound right. Let's go to eat. Before to eat, I wash my hands carefully. Does it make sense? No. If you say, before eating, I wash my hands carefully, how does it sound? Yes, of course. So let's see. Eating is the correct verb, and then the sentence would be like this. Before eating, I wash my hands carefully. Pass me a knife. Also, you have a sentence that has three choices you need to choose from. Okay, so to cut, to cutting, has cut this bread, please. Now let's look at the choices one by one. Do you think this is right? To cutting? Do you usually use cutting with to? No, of course. It doesn't make sense like that. The rule says when you have to, you have the infinitive. Okay? So here, to cutting, you cross it out. It's not right. Okay? So let's leave it out. Now let's look at has cut and to cut and read the sentence to choose the right answer. Pass me a knife to cut this bread, please. And then pass me a knife, sorry. Has cut this bread, please. Which one makes sense to you guys and seems more correct than the other? Yes, to cut. Okay. To cut is the right choice. And then the sentence will be like this. Pass me a knife to cut this bread, please. Pass me a knife to cut this bread, please. Are most stories written in the past or present tense? Now, when you read stories, either in Arabic or in English, what's the tense that mostly used in the story? Okay, so remember, once upon a time, something happened and happened. What's this form? Or what's this tense? Yes. So we usually use the past tense when we write stories or when we tell stories. So in the past tense, في الماضي, زمن الماضي. When a verb comes directly after a preposition, is it usually in the infinitive or in the ing form? Okay, so what do you think? The answer says in the ing form. I have an example for you guys so I can explain this. He is accused for breaking a new vase. For here is a preposition. So if we use the infinitive, it would be he is accused for break a new vase. Would it make sense? No, of course. But when you use it with verb with ing form, the verb with ing form, okay, so this is the verb, this is the ing, it makes sense. Read it again. He is accused for breaking a new vase. Can you give me something? And you have a blank. This headache. And we have three choices here. Okay? Which form is correct? To stopping. Is this right? To stopping? We've discussed this earlier. No. Cross this out always. If you find to with verb with ing, cross it out. That's wrong. You don't need to choose this. Okay? This is wrong. So now you have these two. Okay? These two. Let's read. Can you give me something had stopped this headache? Does it make sense? Let's see the other choice we have here. Can you give me something to stop this headache? Can you give me something to stop this headache? Yes. This is the correct choice. Now let's look at the sentence. The answer is to stop, and the sentence would look like this. Can you give me something to stop this headache? To stop is the right choice. She never remembers blank me on my birthday. Use call. So you have the verb that you need to use here. She never remembers. Is it calling me? Is it to call me? Is it another form? Let's see. Think about it a little bit until I reveal the answer. So what do you think? Yep. You were right. She never remembers to call me on my birthday. And the sentence would be like this. She never remembers to call me on my birthday. I can't risk to wait for a long time. Correct the sentence. I can't risk to wait for a long time. Correct the sentence. جملة أخرى فيها تصحيح. يطلب منك تصحيح. So read carefully. Okay? Another sentence you need to correct here. To correct something or to spot the wrong part of the sentence and correct it, you need to read carefully. Read to yourself and listen. Does it make sense? And try to spot where is the wrong part here in the sentence. I can't risk to wait for a long time. So, what do you think of this part? Yes, you change to wait to waiting. Yes, and it will be, I can't risk waiting for a long time. I can't risk waiting for a long time. So waiting instead of to wait. I don't know where blank this year. Use go. What do you think? What kind of form do you need to use here? Is it to go? Is it going? Is it had gone? Think. Okay, think about it until I reveal the answer for you guys. Yes, it's to go. I don't know where to go this year. I don't know where to go this year. So you need to with the infinitive form of the verb. Choose the correct verb, and you have here 3 choices. Do you mind turning, to turn, turn the TV down? Turn the TV down معناها يخفض صوت التلفزيون. Okay? So فهمنا شنو المعنى ده. Okay, now let's read using each time one of the choices. Do you mind turning the television down? Do you mind to turn the television down? Do you mind turn the television down? Which one made sense when you heard it? Yes, you're correct. Turning. Do you mind turning the TV down? Turning. Do you mind turning the television down? And this was the last question. Hopefully I'll see you next time. شكرا لمتابعتكم، ونلتقي بكم بإذن الله في الحلقة القادمة، وبإذن الله حيكون في 3 حصص للجرامر. بإذن الله حنغطي الفيوتشر تنس، عندكم 3 future tenses، وبعدها الباسيف فويس، وبعدها الريبورتد سبيتش بإذن الله. يعتمد على الوقت اللي بياخده each tense in the episode. شكرا لكم مرة أخرى، ونراكم إن شاء الله في الحلقة القادمة. مع السلامة.